In this presentation, we will continue entering cash outflows from our bank statement into QuickBooks for our business and personal accounts, outflows which will include mortgage payments, medical payments, and utilities. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info. Here we are on the home page. We currently have the open windows open. You can open the open windows by going to the view dropdown and selecting the open windows list. We're now going to go to the check register by selecting the banking dropdown and going down to the use register item. We will be using the checking account and say OK. And then within the checking account, we have been entering data for the month of February from the bank statement. The bank statement looking like this. This is what we have so far. Entering all the deposits, entering all these checks, and now we're just going to finish off. Well, they're not checks, they're electronic transfers. But we're going to finish those off in this last bit here, starting with the bank and the mortgage payment that we have made. Remember that these will include both business and personal, as that is the QuickBooks file we are working on, splitting them out with the use of classes and the use of accounts. We're going to enter this data once again, not splitting with the class as we enter it into the check register. Back to QuickBooks here. Not using the splits item to use the classes, in order to enter them a bit faster in the register and then going to the reports to go back into them and assign classes, learning both how to assign from the reports going back and using a method that may be a bit faster to enter the data as quickly as possible by allowing us to specialize on certain components as we enter the data. All right, so we're on the bank mortgage. So we're going to enter this on the February 22nd. Going back to the QuickBooks file, we're just going to say February 22nd, E for electronic transfer. This is just going to be bank mortgage. Remember, in practice, we would probably have a specific bank in the mortgage, but this is a generic name. Already in there, we have the vendor set up, easy to do, $2,300. The account is already set up. It's under Z expenses, the parent account, and then the personal mortgage. If we select the drop down, it's under mortgage expense, which is a subcategory of Z expenses. Z expenses, I like that. Okay, so anyways, enter. Next item, we're just going to go back up and cross this out. Or highlight it. We highlight them. And then we're going to go to the blue cross. Once again, we've seen that before, so it should be something that's repetitive. It happened on the 23rd. E for electronic transfer, and we're going to type in blue cross. There it is. Vendor has been set up already, so we're good to go. 500 is the amount. The account set up for us has been included from the prior transaction in January, and that's all we need to do. Back to our bank statement, highlighting that because it's done. Edison. Now, this is a little tricky. Notice we have two Edisons, and we kind of differentiated the two by making one business and one personal. So we got to be careful here to make sure that when we have those types of expenses that maybe we pay business and personal or separate checks to the same vendor, that we break them out in some way. So let's take a look at what we've done for that. And we're going to say this is, once again, E for an electronic, and it's going to be Edison. And you'll see we have two of these. So we put a P next to one of them and no P next to the other. Why? Because that allows us to use the vendor to auto-populate. So this one, we're saying, this Edison company, we're saying is going to be personal. So I'm going to use the one with a P, assuming that that means Edison personal for the vendor. And you'll note that it then tracks, it pulls up the personal account. If we can use the same vendor for each, but then for a business and personal, but then we'd have to switch the account each time. If we set up two vendors, even though they're actually going to the same place, then we can have them memorize the accounts and not have to select account each time, which is probably faster. So that's what we have done here. And we're going to say this is 34 and enter that, record it, save it, done. And then the next one isn't going to have it. This is the business Edison account that we pay for. So this is the business side. The office, we have to pay a lot more to Edison for some reason. Someone left the lights on in there or something. But we're going to say that, because it's not that big of an office, pretty much. But we're going to say that that's 225 Edison E, and we're going to say Edison And there it is, Edison, the electric company. And we're not going to use the P, this one, the Edison with a P, but just the Edison without the P. And that's going to be 538. And it's going to go to utilities. And notice it's not under the personal accounts. This time a different account. All right. Back to our accounts, our bank statement. We're going to cross that out or highlight it. Now we have the parking ticket, a parking ticket. Back to our account. We're going to say that that happened on the 26th. E, and it's a parking ticket. Now that would probably be from the state or like the county or the city or something that would have it, but this is a generic name, parking ticket. We'd probably have to be paying, of course, the local people parking lot that own the parking lot, the city or something. And we're going to quick add vendor, and that's going to be 40. Now here we could make a new expense account called parking expenses, or we might say, hey, that I don't expect to have a lot of parking expenses, and therefore put it into some kind of miscellaneous. This is a small one-off item. I don't need to categorize every kind of random little thing that happens if I don't think they're going to happen often. And therefore that's just the decisions we need to make. And so this one I'm just going to put in the miscellaneous. Miscellaneous. And I'm going to put miscellaneous. We have miscellaneous under the expenses. It's a miscellaneous expense, not a income. And that is that. And then the next item, we'll cross that off. That has been found. The gas company. All right, gas company. That happened on the 28th. And E, and we're just going to call it gas company. Already there, already set up, $26. And it's going to the correct account. Easy as that. Then we've got the two paychecks. Back to the bank statement. We've got Hamilton and Robertson. There's our, I think there should be a T there, but that's how they put it on there. So we're going to have Adam. These are our two employees. We're not going to get into payroll. We're going to enter the net check that cleared the bank statement, assuming that we had someone else basically process payroll for us. Would be a process that might look something like this, like ADP or paychecks. So we won't get into payroll. We're going to enter the paychecks, however. That happened on 228E. We're going to say Adam, typing that in there, employee, setting that up, and 3539. Now it's not going to set up the payroll expense because QuickBooks has special kind of features related to the payroll expense. And so therefore, if this is how we're entering the payroll in a manual cash basis way, then we'd have to enter the payroll like this. And again, we're not going to get into the details of payroll beyond that in this course. So the next one we're going to say is Erica, also employee, Erica Robertson. And that's for 630. That will be payroll expense as well. And that is it. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that last item, and then we'll go back to the report so we can see which classes are assigned, and we'll see an unclassified area, and we'll use that to classify them. So we'll do that by going to the reports drop down up top. We're going to take a look at the company and financial. We want the profit and loss by class. Profit and loss by class. Then we're going to change the dates from 02/01/20, that's to 02/29/20. That's February 2nd to February 29th, and we'll see the unclassified items. We want to then classify the unclassified items, and once all classified, this classified column, unclassified column, will go away. We know it will be easy to do because we have them also sorted by account, all personal accounts in this subcategory under this personal accounts, Z expenses personal. So that means that anything that's not in there should be business, which includes these two items, and we can do this without thinking too much. So we're just going to go in here, add the class for business, and it'll move here, this item from there to there, from there to there, from there to there. So let's double click on it. And there's two in here, so we're going to double click on them. Classes, business, save and close, yes, yes. And the next one, double clicking on Erica, classes, business, save and close, yes, yes. And that's it for the payroll. And then we have the utilities. This is the business utilities, so we're going to double click on it. Go into that item, classes, business, yes. So we're save and close, yes. And that's it for that one. Now we'll just go into all the personal items. There's only 4 of them. They're all personal because they're under Z expenses personal sub-accounts to the master account. Starting with the insurance, so we'll double click on that. And we'll double click on that item. Now this is P for personal, so I'm going to say P personal, save and close, yes. Closing that out. And then we'll go to the miscellaneous personal, double click on that, double click, classes, personal, save and close. That's been reclassified, closing this out. That's been reclassified to personal, right there. And then we're going to go to the mortgage, double clicking on that. Double click, classes, P for personal, save and close, yes. And close that out. There's that one more, the 60. Once we do that, the unclassified should go away because they're all classified. So we'll go on the 34. We're going to say P for personal in the class, save and close, yes. One more, double clicking on the gas company and classify, say personal, save and close. That should do it. If we close this back out, then we have everything reassigned. The unclassified column goes away because everything has now been classified. And that's how easy it is to kind of go back through here and sort out if we happen to miss classes or if we use this method in order to classify. For more accounting information and accounting courses, visit our website at accountinginstruction.info.